Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Gopi Jana Vallabha Givaradhari Jayo Gopi Jana Vallabha Givaradhari Yashodanandana Bhajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Bhajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Gopi Jana Vallabha Givaradhari Jayo Gopi Jana Vallabha Givaradhari Yashodanandana Bhajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Bhajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jayo Krishna Rukmani, Jayo Satyabhama, Krishna Rukmani, Jayo Satyabhama. Jayo Gauranitai, Jayo Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jayo Gauranitai. Jayo Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jayo Prabhupada. Jayam Vishnupada Paramhans Parivrajikaचार्य Astottar Satyajit Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki, ISKCON founder Acharya, BBT founder Acharya, save the whole world Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki, Grantara Srimad-Bhagavatam ki, Vinde Devi Tulsi Maharani ki, Sisi Krishna Rukmani Satyabhama ki, Shishi Gaur Nitai ki, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Reading from Srimad-Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 1, Text 21. Yasyam sandharyamāṇāyām Yasyam sandharyamāṇāyām Yasyam sandharyamāṇāyām Yoginah bhakti lakshanah Yogino bhakti lakshanah Yogino bhakti lakshanah Asho sampadyate yoga Asu sampadyate yoga Asu sampadyate yoga Ashrayam bhadram ikshitah Ashrayam bhadram ikshitah Ashram bhadram ikshitah Yasam sandharyamāṇānām Yogino bhakti lakshanah आसु सम्पद्यते योगा आश्रयं बद्धमीक्षितः यस्यां सन्दर्यामाणानां योगिनो भक्तिलक्षणा आसु सम्पद्यते योगा आश्रयं बद्धमीक्षितः दां सन्दर्यमाणानां सन्दर्यमाणानां योगिनो भक्तिलक्षणः सम्पद्यते योगा word to word meaning Yashyam by such systematic remembrance Sandharyamananam and thus being fixed in the habit of Yoginaha the mystics Bhakti Lakshanaha bring practice to the devotional system Asu very soon Sampadyate attain success Yogaha connection by devotional service Ashrayam under the shelter of Bhadram that all good Ikshataha which seeing that Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Jai Prabhupada Translation O King, by this system of remembrance and by being fixed in the habit of seeing the all-good personal conception of the Lord, one can very soon attain devotional service to the Lord under His direct shelter. Translation with repetition. O King, by this system of remembrance and by being fixed in the habit of seeing the all-good personal conception of the Lord, one can very soon attain devotional service to the Lord under His direct shelter. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Success of mystic performances is achieved only by the help of the devotional attitude, pantheism, or the system of feeling the presence of Almighty everywhere is a sort of training of the mind to become accustomed to the devotional conception. And it is this devotional attitude of the mystic that makes possible the successful termination of such mystic attempts. One is not, however, elevated to such a successful status without the tinge of mixture in a devotional service. The devotional atmosphere created by the pantheistic vision develops into devotional service in a later days, and that is the only benefit for the impersonalist. It is confirmed in a Bhagavad Gita 12.5 that the impersonal way of self-realization is a more troublesome because it reaches the goal in an indirect way, although the impersonalist also becomes obsessed with the personal feature of the Lord after a long time. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chakshur Ulmitam Ena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyate Desatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Yasyam sandharyamānāyam yogino bhakti lakshanaha asu sampadyate yoga ashayam bhadram ikshitaha. So this verse of Srimad-Bhagavatam, in this verse, this Sukadeva Goswami is explaining about the devotional service of the Lord to the Parikshit Maharaj. So in order to have some background about today's verse, like Parikshit Maharaj being cursed by the Brahmana to die within the 7 days. So within the short time, within the 7 days, now Parikshit Maharaj, he left his kingdom and he sat down in the bank of Ganges river. And then they inquired all the great personality of the entire universe, what is the best duty, what is the perfection I can achieve within these 7 days. So that was the inquiry put forward by Parikshit Maharaj to the sages. So all the great sages across the universe, they heard Parikshit Maharaj, he had left the kingdom, he sat down in the bank of river Ganges. So they started traveling to that place, and finally they reached that place where Parikshit Maharaj, he was sitting, and without any food, water or any bodily demand, he became free from all bodily demand. And then in amidst of the all great sages, he asked, what is the best way to lead the life within 7 days? What is the perfection I can achieve within 7 days? So among all the sages, they all together, they decided, let us hear the pure devotional service of the Lord from the son of Vyasadeva. Then everyone suggested and recommended, let us invite Sukadeva Goswami, who is none other than son of Vyasadeva. So Vyasadeva, he was also sitting in that assembly, well, amidst of other sages like Vasistha, so different sages. Then finally Sukadeva Goswami, he arrived that place. Then by seeing this entire this spiritual realization of Sukadeva Goswami, his bodily complexion, his each limb of the body well formed, and by seeing the gesture of Sukadeva Goswami, everyone felt is a different personality, entirely different personality. So, with the recommendation of all the sages, Sukadeva Goswami came forward and he started discussing or giving advice to the Parikshit Maharaj. Now, Parikshit Maharaj started asking, there are 7 questions asked by Parikshit Maharaj to Sukadeva Goswami. So, one of the question, that chapter first, that ends with that last question, what is the duty of the person who is going to die? What should be the best activity he can perform within 7 days? So that is the question put forward by Parikshit Maharaj to Sukadeva Goswami. Then Sukadeva Goswami now started giving the answer. So Sukadeva Goswami first, he appreciated the questions raised by Parikshit Maharaj. He said, whatever question you have asked, that is all beneficial for all class of people of the society. And the answers to these questions, even though more beneficiary to the all class of people. So questions as well as the answers of those questions also beneficiary to the all class of people. So that further continuation, then he asked the same question, what is the duty of the person who is going to die? That is the question asked by Parikshit Maharaj. So now Sukadeva Goswami is explaining gradually one by one. Beginning of this chapter is entitled The First Step in a God Realization. The first step in a God realization. So, beginning of this chapter, Sukadeva Goswami explained how this entanglement in this society, entanglement in a family that captures the person throughout the life in materialism. So, one should become detached from the material life as Parikshit Maharaj had already done it. He had already left the kingdom, his wife, everything he has left, all opulence, everything he left. So, now this Sukadeva Goswami is teaching us. Sukadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj, they are Mahabhagavata devotee. So, they are already in liberated platform. They are the pure devotee of the Lord. But in order to teach us this Bhagavatam Dharma, this Bhagavat instruction, now Sukadeva Goswami is narrating one by one step. You should become detached from the family life. After detaching, then is explaining you have to do Ashtanga Yoga. Actually, he is teaching all of us, to the people of the whole world. Sukadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj, they are already in liberated platform. For them, there is no need of doing Ashtanga Yoga or Dhyana Yoga or Jnana Yoga. No, but Sukadeva Goswami is teaching gradual process. Finally, he will end to the Bhakti Yoga process. So, as in this chapter, like in the previous verses, he explains. Let us read from the text 12. Maharaj Parikshit, now your duration of life is limited to 7 more days. So, during this time, you can perform all those rituals which are needed for the best purpose of your next life. So, Sukadeva Goswami telling the best purpose we can solve out from within these 7 days. Next verse, Sukadeva Goswami is telling, at the last stage of one's life, one should be bold enough not to be afraid of death, but one must cut off all attachment to the material body and everything pertaining to it and all desire thereof. Is telling one should become detached from the family life. One should become detached from all the wealth all around. So that is Parikshit Maharaj has already done it. Already he left everything. So is for they are teaching to us. So next verse, one should leave home and practice self-control. In a sacred place, he should bathe regularly and sit down in a lonely place, duly sanctified. So he is suggesting one should go to the sacred place and should sit down and take bath regularly like this. So his Ashtanga Yoga process explaining. After sitting in above manner, make the mind remember the 3 transcendental letter Om, Om. By regulating the breathing process, control the mind so as not to forget a transcendental seed. So he's telling this Ashtanga Yoga process, he has to regulate his breathing process and then he should remember this Om. Furthermore, gradually, as the mind becomes progressively spiritualized, withdraw it from the sense activity. When mind is spiritualized, automatically it will get withdraw from the material activities. Next, thereafter, you should meditate upon the limb of Vishnu. Finally, this Ashtanga Yoga process is coming to meditating on the form of Lord Vishnu. After that, without being deviated from the conception of complete body, thus mind becomes free from all sense objects. There should be no other thing to be thought upon. Because the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu is the ultimate truth. The mind becomes completely reconciled in Him only. So, is suggesting in Ashtanga Yoga process, completely come to the Samadhi, completely absorb in meditation of Lord Vishnu, different limbs or parts of the body of the Lord. Finally, is explaining just previous verse, 20th verse. One's mind is always agitated by the passion and ignorant. But one can rectify such conception by relation of Vishnu. Jai Sri Krishna Rukmini Satyabhama ki jai, Shapopad ki jai. But one can rectify such conceptions by the relation of Vishnu, thus become pacified by cleansing the dirty thing created by them. So now is meditating, is like in Ashtanga Yoga process, the ultimate step is Samadhi. When they are in full Samadhi, their complete meditation on the Lord Vishnu, the Paramatma form of the Lord. So that is being explained in a previous verse. So in today's verse, Parikshit Maharaj is explaining, constantly remember the Lord and fixed in a habit of seeing the Lord, in a personal conception of the Lord. So in today's verse, it is emphasized that the personal form of the Lord, that is the ultimate. As Prabhupada explains, the pantheism theory, it describes like this material energy that is the source of everything. So, and this material energy, if you see many people in a forest, this aborigine, they worship some kind of nature, they worship some tree, they worship river, they worship mountain. So actually they are worshipping the material energy. And they are thinking this is the ultimate. Material energy is the ultimate. So pantheism theory explains like material energy is everything. That is the pantheism theory conclusion. So, but actually that is not so. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, is material energy that is emanating from me. Even though higher than material energy, the source of material energy. Krishna says, Bhumir apo analo vayu kham mano buddhir evacha. So these 8 elements, they are separated. Material element or material energy is my energy. So pantheism theory is incomplete in this point, because that is not the ultimate, and this energy, material energy, is coming from the Supreme Lord. So they have to go forward one more step. That is the source of material energy. So Krishna also says, see this material energy, the nature is that is emanating from me. As Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matta bhajante mam buddha bhav samanvitaha. So Krishna says, this material world and spiritual world, both are emanating from me. I am the source of everything. So Krishna is the source of material energy also. So material energy is not ultimate. The source of material energy is ultimate. That is the Supreme Lord, as explained by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. So worshipping material energy, there is a partial realization, very minute realization in this process. So one should come to the next level, that is a devotional service to the Lord, as explained by Lord Himself in a 11th chapter, the last verse 55. Lord explains how one should engage in a personal service of the Lord and become free from all kind of material contamination. So let us read the last verse of 11th chapter. So Lord says, 11.55, Mat karma krit mat paramo mad bhakta sang varjitaha nirvaireh sarv bhutesu yasa mam eti pandavaha. So Lord says, my dear Arjuna, one who is engaged in my pure devotional service, free from contamination of previous activities and from the mental speculation, who is a friendly to every living entity, certainly comes to me. So Lord is explaining the pure devotional service to the Lord is ultimate, not the worshipping this material energy is ultimate. So one should come to the platform of directly serving the Lord. So Lord, in this world, Lord is present in the form of Archa Vigraha. So Archa Vigraha, out of His causeless mercy, the same the Supreme Personality of Godhead, He has descended on the order of, or on the request of, on the plea of His pure devotee. So like, as we say, see, like in our temple, the beautiful form of Sri Krishna Satyabhama, Shri Gaur Nitai, and our Acharya Prabhupada. So this Archa Vigraha is a representation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So it's a personal form of the Lord, not the impersonal form of the Lord. As in today's verse explained, the impersonal feature of the absolute truth, that is incomplete. Worshipping material energy, that is also incomplete. Impersonal form of the Lord, that also incomplete realization. Ultimate realization is a worshipping directly the Supreme Personality of Godhead in a personal form, which is deity, inside the altar. So this, as we are embodied, our soul got encased within the body. So we say bodily conception of life. We have the body, we see with the bodily conception everywhere. Our view, our purview, our drishti is a bodily conception. So our great acharyas, they have utilized this bodily conception in that way. So if we worship the deity in a personal form, then gradually our bodily conception, me and around me, who is connected to me, they are my, me and my. What is a bodily conception? Me and my. So our personal requirement, in order to satisfy the personal requirement, beyond that, I'm not bothered about that. So bodily conception. And extended bodily conception, maybe somebody connected to me, my family members, they are extended bodily conception. So me and my family, that's all. I'm not bothered about the whole world. So this bodily conception, gradually we come out from this bodily conception. So the Lord, they appear in a deity form as a personal feature of the Lord. Satchit Vigraha, Satchit Anand Vigraha. So this Satchit Vigraha, when we worship the Lord inside the altar every day, are like devotees, they come, they offer their prayers, they do namaskara to the Lord. So by doing this personal activity to the Lord, like prayer to the Lord is a personal activity to the Lord. Devotees, they come, they bring some fruits and flowers to the Lord, and that is offered to the Lord. So it's a personal service to the Lord, it's a direct service to the Lord. So that's why the deity worship is so important, and by performing the deity worship, then gradually we'll come out, we come free from the bodily conception of life, and we come to the transcendental stage. What is the transcendental stage? We are not this body, we are the spirit soul. And what is that soul? Soul is not independent. Soul is a part and parcel of Lord, the Supreme Lord. Soul is always connected to the super soul. When this soul start serving the Supreme Lord, then that is the highest perfection is achieved by the soul. So that is what explained by Srila Prabhupada in today's verse. And Prabhupada is telling this impersonal practice of self-realization, it's very, very troublesome. As explained by Lord Krishna in a 12th chapter. So Lord says, Kleso adhirakstetam avvyakta saktachetasam avvyakta hi gatirduvkam devadbur avadpute. So Lord says, this impersonal practice of absolute truth is very much troublesome, very much painful, and this is indirect. This is indirect progress, and progress that takes long time. So let us read the translation of 12th chapter. So Lord says, Kleso adhiraktesam avvyakta sakta chetasam avvyakta hi gatir dukkham deva vadbur avapyate. So Lord says, for those whose minds are attached to the unmanifested, impersonal feature of the Lord or Supreme, advancement is very troublesome. To make progress in that discipline is always difficult for those who are embodied. So those who are in a bodily conception, who are encased within the body, they have not got the realization of like they are part and parcel of the God. So for them, this process, impersonal, this process, in that they have to do for long time. Krishna also says, after many births, they have to perform this impersonal process, and finally they will come to the devotional service at last. So the impersonal process, what is the drawback in this? It's very much painful, it's very much troublesome for the practitioner, as well as is a time taking, it's very time taking. Rather, personal process is a very direct process to the Lord. If you purchase one flower, one fruit, and give to the pujari, pujari will offer to the Lord. It's a direct, completely within few minutes, your service has reached to the Lord. So it's a direct process from our side, and Lord receives that. So Lord, whatever we offer to the Lord, Archi Vigraha, Lord actually takes it actually, because Lord sees the offering along with the bhava of the devotee. So when anything is offered to the Lord with the bhava, Lord accepts it. So offering is not so important, is a medium, but bhava is more important than offering. So that's why Lord is known as Bhava Grahi Janardana. So Lord sees the bhava of the devotee. So this feeling, that feeling is a personal. Lord is a personal, we are the person, then the personal feeling we are expressing to the Lord. And this feeling is a direct exchange with the Lord. That's why this personal realization, like personal conception of the absolute truth, which is Archi Vigraha form or the direct Lord Satchidanand Vigraha form, so that is very direct. So just like some people say, like how you can say that God will be having the form? They say God is energy. Some people say in their conception God is energy, God is a nature, God is a this, that, various things they say. So Prabhupada says, just like we have the personal feature, we can see this is a person, I'm a person, or every one of our person. So if I am a person, so if we guess my father, so my father also will be having the personal feature, because I have personal feature, and origin of who's my origin or source? My father is my source. One sense is a body and given by mother and father. So if I am a person, then my mother and father, they are also person. Okay. So if they are the person, then finally you go back to the upper level. Then next level. Finally, when we have the form, then source of me, he also must have form. So this way we can say that the Supreme Lord has the proper form, and that is explained in a Srimad-Bhagavatam, in a Puranas. And so throughout the Vedic literature, it is especially the Bhagavatam and Puranas, it is stressed that the personal feature of the Lord is the highest, and devotional service to the personal feature of the Lord is very quick, fruitful. But that devotional service to be performed under the direction of bona fide spiritual master, like Srila Prabhupada Acharya. So under their guidance, we can perform the devotional service. So this devotional service, as we heard from our Acharya, the Navida Bhakti. So devotional service can be performed in 9 ways. So any one of the component, in 9 ways we can perform, any one of the method we can adopt and execute. But that should be under the guidance of bona fide spiritual master. Just like in today's words, Sukadeva Goswami is narrating Srimad-Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. So Parikshit Maharaj is hearing Srimad-Bhagavatam. So Shravanam is happening. Parachit Maharaj is hearing Srimad-Bhagavatam. So hearing is one of the way to achieve perfection in devotional service. Sukadeva Goswami is narrating Srimad-Bhagavatam. So Shravanam, Kirtanam. Kirtanam is happening. Kirtanam means glorifying the Lord. Glorification of the Lord. So Sukadeva Goswami is glorifying Supreme Lord in a form of Srimad-Bhagavatam. Then after that, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. So Lord Vishnu Smaranam. As this week we celebrated Narasimha Jayanti. So in Narasimha Jayanti, we had performed the skit, the drama of appearance of Lord Narasimha. So in that, one of the key feature, how Prahlada was saved at every stage of his life. He was in a great danger, and this danger was, he was under the danger by the father. So father wanted to kill his own son. So which father will like to kill his own son? Because he was demonic. He was in a demonic mentality. He was having demonic tendency, demonic mentality. He doesn't want to hear anything about the Lord Vishnu. But his son, being a devotee of Lord Vishnu, Hiranyakashipu completely neglected him. And finally he decided to kill own son. But then what was the punishment given by his father? He was thrown from the mountain. When he was thrown from the mountain, what Prahlada was doing? Just remembering the Lord, constantly remembering the Lord Vishnu. So remembering, Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. So Vishnu Smaranam, he was continuously just remembering the Lord. And that is the power of remembering the Lord. He was put in one of the tank in that boiling oil. He was put in the boiling oil inside the one tank, a drum. And finally, he was saved. Nothing happened to him. That is the power of remembering the Lord. He was trampled under the feet of gigantic elephant. He was saved because he was constantly remembering the Supreme Lord. So like this, he was under great danger, and finally he was saved because he was constantly remembering the Supreme Lord. So this Vishnu Smaranam. So this Navida Bhakti, as today's verse, Prabhupada says, the translation, this system of remembrance, and being fixed in the habit of seeing all good personal conception of the Lord, one can very soon attain devotional service to the Lord. When one becomes perfected in his devotional service, Navida Bhakti, when he becomes perfected under the guidance of bona fide spiritual master, then his path or his going back to Godhead, it becomes clear. Then he can attain the God. So, the sum and substance of today's verse, the remembrance and constantly seeing the presence of the Lord everywhere. Like Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, I am present everywhere. Like Aham Sarvasya Prabho Matta Sarvam Parvartate. So, Lord, everything is originating from the Lord. Lord is a source of everything. So, in material world, in the material energy also is energy of the Lord. It's coming from the Lord, this energy. So, we should see the presence of the Lord in the material energy. Prabhupada says, when we drink water, our thirst is quenched. We feel so satisfied. Oh, Krishna is a taste in the water. And if you see the light, daytime, as soon as light comes, we feel very like light, illuminated light all around in the daytime. So we should see the presence of the Lord. The light is coming from the Lord. Sun and moon, they are getting the light from the effulgence of the body of the Lord. So like this, presence of the Lord we should see everywhere. His energy is not separated from the Lord. This energy belongs to the Supreme Lord. This Shakti is coming from Shaktiman, Sarv Shaktiman. The Supreme Lord is Shaktiman. From him, this energy is coming. So pantheism theory, it ends with everywhere energy is the highest, material energy is the highest. So that is completely half philosophy or incomplete realization of absolute truth. So above the material energy, the source of material energy is the Supreme Lord. So rather than worshipping this material energy in a form of tree, river, mountain, we should worship the Supreme Lord directly. So that is the highest. And we should serve the Supreme Lord under the direction, then our devotional service reaches to the Lord. And then finally we have to achieve perfection in that. So in devotional service process, like different stages one has to undergo through, and in these stages, the spiritual master, he will be continuously guiding through his instruction. Then finally, that practitioner, he can achieve the ultimate goal, which is going back to Godhead. Okay. With this, we'll end here. Srimad-Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande.